Did you know that some of the actors won't even mention the name of this play? There's a superstition says that this play is cursed, and just by saying the word Macbeth inside the theatre might cause a disaster. Reading books and classic literature might be a bore and difficult to bear for some of you. That is why I decided to make this wonderful video, not only because of the fact that as an actress and an English teacher, I just love Shakespeare, but mostly because I think you'll find them inspiring and wonderful. So I hope you will change your mind and agree with me after watching this exciting lesson. I've created a short summary full of explanations and illustrations of the play Macbeth by William Shakespeare. So, if you are in high school or just a person who struggles with English literature, make sure to subscribe so that you won't miss anything that will matter to you.
Scotland is at war and has just won a great battle. Macbeth, a general in the Scottish army, is the hero of the battle. On his way home afterwards, Macbeth and his friend meet three mysterious witches. Somehow, the witches already know Macbeth's name.
Well, Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
Oh, hail, Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
Oh, hail, Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter.
They tell him that he is going to be promoted and that he will be given more money, land and power. When they say Macbeth, the future king, Macbeth is confused and doesn't really believe the witches. Soon afterwards, Macbeth receives a message from Duncan, the King of Scotland. King Duncan wants to reward Macbeth for his victory and has decided to promote him, giving him more money, land and power. This is exactly what the witches said would happen, so Macbeth wonders if it is also true that he will become king one day. Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, soon hears about her husband's success and the witches' predictions. She becomes excited about the idea of her husband becoming king, and she wants to be the queen herself. But she's worried that Macbeth won't do anything to make it happen. So she comes up with a plan to murder King Duncan, who is coming to stay at the Macbeth's castle that night.
Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under.
At first, Macbeth doesn't like the idea, but Lady Macbeth has a very powerful personality and is very cold-blooded. She begins the fierce attack on Macbeth's masculinity that will batter him into changing his mind over his decision not to kill Duncan. She succeeds to persuade him that murdering Duncan is the best thing to do and that she will plan everything. What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? The key point in this quotation is that it marks the point at which she no longer uses the intimate thou with her husband, but the more distant you, the first sign of a break in their relationship.
'Tis the eye of childhood, that fears of painted devil.
After After calling Macbeth a coward before the murder, she accuses him of acting like a child after it. That night, while King Duncan is sleeping, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth make his guards drunk. When the guards are asleep, Macbeth comes into Duncan's room and kills him with a knife. The next morning, when the king's death is discovered, Macbeth kills the guards and tells everyone that he did this because they killed the king. Duncan's son Malcolm is frightened that he might be killed too, and so he escapes to England to lay low and stay safe. With Duncan's dead and Malcolm away in England, Macbeth becomes King of Scotland and Lady Macbeth becomes Queen. But Macbeth is worried that his friends might become his enemies and might want to kill him so that they can become king. So he hires murderers to kill his friends and their families. But now Macbeth starts imagining that he can see the ghost of his murdered friend. At dinner that night, the ghost appears to Macbeth, but no one else can see it. Macbeth behaves very strangely in front of all his guests. Macbeth goes to see the witches again, who make more predictions, but they tell him that he will be safe until nearby forest comes to his castle. Macbeth is relieved. After all, forest obviously cannot move. Lady Macbeth is tortured by the guilt of Duncan's murder. She has started sleepwalking and thinking that she can see blood on her hands. She cannot get her hands clean. She finally goes mad and kills herself.
Yet, here's a spot. Out of spot, out I say. 1, 2. Why then, 'tis time to dote. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie. A soldier and afeard? Why need we fear who knows it when none can call power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him? The Thane of 5 had a wife? Where is she now? What would this hand now be clean? No, more of that, my lord, no more of that. You meddle with this starting. Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Wash hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Bank was buried. He cannot come out once grave. To bed, to bed. There's knocking on the gate. Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed.
In the meantime, King Duncan's son, Malcolm, has actually organized an army in England to invade Scotland and punish Macbeth for killing his father. Macbeth's other enemies join with them, and the army marches toward Scotland. Macbeth waits for the English army at his castle and is convinced the witch's predictions mean he's safe. But he is terrified when he hears the English army is using branches from the trees of the forest to protect themselves. he realizes that this means the forest really is coming to his castle. Macbeth is no longer safe, and he is killed in the battle. With Macbeth dead and his head cut off, Malcolm becomes the new king of Scotland.